Thank you.
We are now recording the January 19th, 2018 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
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 From the freezing south.
I know you guys still got that. What day was the storm? What day did I message you?
Well, I was in Nashville last weekend for the big storm.
For what day was the storm? Was it Tuesday or was it last week? Every day's running into each other. Whatever day it was.
You mean our blizzard? The blizzard?
Yes.
Up here it was
on my calendar. It was on the 3rd.
Up here it was Tuesday into Wednesday.
Okay, so that day, that storm encompassed the entire East Coast.
Right.
All the way from New England down through the southern states, down through Florida. I was trying to get pictures from everyone, is what I was doing. But Sarah, you sent me some gorgeous pictures. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll put them up, and I'll just put them up under winter of 2018. Because I really, really wanted to show my 3-year-old granddaughter sledding for the first time in Alabama.
Like, what's the chance of that happening?
Right. My little Southern belle learning how to sled.
Oh, that's so neat.
Okay, back to our conversation with Linda and Gmail Hacked. So Linda, you got a notification on your cell phone. It was a text.
I did. Okay, now this happened, and also it was, I'm in my Gmail right now. It was also sent as an email at 3:14 a.m. this morning. Somebody tried to sign into my Gmail account, which I don't keep anything important.
So they tried but weren't successful? It was like
the reason why is this is what the message says. Sign-in attempt was blocked. QBQLindaRussell@gmail.com. Someone just used your password to try to sign into your account. Google blocked them, but you should check what happened. So then I checked the activity, and it shows me that Windows and Upland has checked in, Samsung Galaxy S6, which
so they did get in. They did get in.
Samsung Galaxy J3, which is and it tells you how long ago. Then there was an unknown device in Irvine 11 hours ago, which was 3:15 a.m. I was sound asleep on the couch at 3:15 a.m. It was not me, nor was it anyone. So this came from Google. So I went into Google and I said that was not me, and I changed my password. But I think I am going to go change it again, just in case. But
I would do that. Yes.
To know that they show you all this. The other thing that I noticed is on my T-Mobile account, and it says,
wait a second.
Likely. It tells you if it's a scammer. T-Mobile has kind of identified phone numbers that people call you to run scams on you. And it warns you when you go to answer the phone. It says scam likely. Which is really kind of neat. I just switched to T-Mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, now if you're 55 and older, 2 phone lines, unlimited phone, talk, text, and data for $60 a month.
Wow.
Wow. Is that unlimited data?
It says it is, but my guess is there's probably a 10 gig limit or something. But trust me, if you use too much, I'm sure they'd slow you down. I don't use much because
you're not. Yeah.
I started using computers in 1980 when we used to pay for every 6 seconds we were online.
Right.
And so I use data sparingly, just because of that. But there's more and more, and I'm going to set up 2-factor, I think, a lot.
That's what
probably a good idea.
Would have saved me yesterday, all that worry.
But Linda, when you first said what the text said, it said they blocked it.
Yeah, if they blocked it, how are they in?
Well, they didn't get in because Google blocked it, because it wasn't a device that I had said was mine,
Uh-huh.
and it wasn't located where I've said my devices are. Trust me, Google knows everywhere I go.
Yes, I will say that that is a fact.
When I get on the phone, I go to, they know where I'm going. I mean, it's like, it'd be awfully hard for somebody to kidnap somebody today if they were kind of a regular kind of routine kind of person.
Mhm.
They have to have their location on their phone, and I often turn mine off for that reason.
Oh, okay, got it.
It's sort of handy with the pictures because we just hooked up Prime something anyway, and it's sorting all the pictures by location and date. Know that? And I thought, well, that's pretty
Wow.
neat. But that means they know the location.
I use Google Maps on the
Okay, so
timeline
it just-
to
everybody
recreate
said
billing.
that personally. If you don't-
Right, you can do that, yes. Recreate your billing on the timeline. Everybody.
Exactly what time you pulled up and exactly what time you left.
Yes. Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Now, what's difficult, what I think a lot of people are upset about is, obviously, if you're going to participate in any crime, it would be a good idea not to turn your location on. Because
Please don't give them any hints. Let them be caught.
trust me, I'm not going to commit any crime.
Next time I go rob
let
the
them
bank,
stay.
I'm turning it off.
Let them stay. Let them stay stupid. I mean,
Yeah, let them say stupid. No, I have a client whose little assistant, they wiped out her and her husband's checking account and savings account, and he's disabled. And I said, do you have any aides or anything coming to the house? And she said, only physical therapists, because they got his password to Wells Fargo. And I'm like, did he have it written on a sticky somewhere at home? She goes, no. And I'm like, it's written somewhere. Somebody got in their house.
Does it have to be written down? Can
Well, they could watch over his shoulder or something. But I almost think I'm hoping that it's somebody that got into their house and watched him,
do
or
that?
some sick relative or something. Because the thought of somebody being able to hack into our Wells Fargo account, just but it was changed to a local AT&T cell phone account. And of course, if all the money was transferred out, they can trace it.
Right.
So the police are involved and everything. But meanwhile, these kids have no money. I'm just, anyway, so that's why when I got my little stupid email yesterday from Wells Fargo saying that my account number or my phone number and my account name had been changed, I'm like, okay, I know it's spam. I was at the doctor. I'm in my little phone. If I were at my computer, I could see what the background is and everything. And then I tried to log into my account and it wouldn't let me in. And then I'm, I've got my sleeves rolled up because they're doing the double allergy shots and everything. So I'm sitting there and I'm in the hall. They put you in the hallway to wait your 25 minutes. And I'm just like, what?
Oh no, what a time to find
I
out.
need a human now. What is your bank account number? I don't know what my bank account is.
I'm at the doctor's.
I'm calm. I'm an accountant. I see these little spam emails all the time, but
Yes.
into my account. I just typed it too fast. So
Your client had just
I'll tell you
had all
what.
that money taken.
So Mark's like, did you turn on two-factor authentication? And I'm like, yeah.
I'm doing that now, dear.
Putting it on now.
I thought about it.
Yeah. Now, last weekend, this is interesting. I had to go to Tennessee. And when I got to the airport Sunday, I went to put gas in the rent-a-car. And I thought, well, I'll use our Amazon card because it buzzes Mark's wrist. And that's sort of my way of telling him where I am. And it declined it. I'm like, okay, so I used another card. And then he texted me, said, are you at a gas station? Well, he had just gotten coffee at the coffee shop 10 minutes before I got gas in Tennessee.
Ah.
So it went, you can't be two states at one time. So it did the
Shut down.
And then, of course, the text went to him instead. I should have been on the text too, because I would have been able to say, yes, it's me,
Right.
And then they called
Sure.
yesterday to make sure it was still okay, because they apparently, the gas station had put like $1 hold or something. They didn't hit the card or anything, but they just want to make sure. And I'm like, it was like, I guess it's a Chase thing. And I said, I like you guys.
It is a pain when you get declined, but you have to thank them for doing that. And the moral of that story is always have 2 credit cards with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So I use that card as our main card, but it immediately buzzes him. But sometimes you don't want him to know where you. Sarah's at Target again. I use the Sarah card for that one. But yeah, the fraud is getting scary.
Scary. Very, very scary. I have notifications from Chrome. Now that Linda mentioned it, I don't get Gmail notifications when I log on, but I get notifications when I log on to Chrome from different places. And generally, when I'm logging on to Chrome, I'm logging onto my Gmail account.
I'll be darned. Yeah.
But I have set it up so that if I'm somewhere different, like if I go to my sister's house or whatever, and I log on to my Chrome account or Gmail, but you can log on to them separately too.
Right.
It tells me someone logged on to Chrome at, whatever city. So I do get those notifications too.
My cell phone used to be at the bottom of my purse, dead. From, I charge it up and take it to church on Sunday, and then, so now I have to carry this thing. I have to make sure it's near me all the time because of all this, authentication. Even LastPass, we have LastPass set up where I have to, if I want to go into LastPass, I have to hit this authenticator thing, and so now I'm tethered to my cell phone, but it's all safety.
And that's scary too. What happens if you lose your phone? I'm terrified. That seems to be like a phobia that I have now at this point, because I will get to the point like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Stop right now. I have to find my phone.
Right. Yeah. I mean, before it was like you just felt a little naked. Now it's like, well, and then they can do the authentication with the email usually. I'll choose email over a cell phone if I can.
I tried for many, many, many years, but I finally gave up and gave them my cell phone number.
But at least I feel better that I could actually have access to email from anything, even if my cell phone ends up in the river or something. So anyway.
So do we want to talk about Sarah's payroll issues or Dennis' IRS?
Well, my wife's going to give piano lessons pretty soon, so maybe you should.
Yeah, you better go first.
Let's talk to Dennis about his IRS adventures. They're
Okay.
always fun.
Well, as you probably know, for the last 6 months, the IRS has been trying to roll out this program where you have like 2-factor authentication because of all the fraud going on and people getting hacked. So you're supposed to be able to do it online, and they were supposed to either pull a credit card, you put in information that you could verify in your credit report. Well, mine kept rejecting, so I had to do it manually, and this is like on December 18th. So I spent about a half hour or so going through this process, and then they were supposed to send me a text, a code via snail mail. Well, of course, I hadn't received it yet, and so finally I called on Wednesday, and they said, well, there was a problem with some letters didn't go out, and oh, by the way, your code is expiring today. And they knew the code, but they couldn't tell me. And so they escalated the problem and gave me a number. So, and like on Wednesday, I was on the phone for like about an hour and a half. And so the upshot was they escalated the problem. So
So
today,
this is on the phone an hour and a half, actually talking to somebody, not just waiting.
waiting and
They
talking to
couldn't
somebody.
fax it to you.
It's like, no, they couldn't. It was like top secret. So anyway, they escalated. They gave me a code. So I called today. I'm on the phone for about 50 minutes. Finally, somebody answers, and I said, I explained that I'd gotten this code. I was trying to follow up on, the escalation. It says, please hold, and they transferred me again. So then I'm on the phone for another half hour. And then finally I'm talking to somebody, and she says, well, there was a problem with the letters that were generated between December 10th and January 2nd, and they came back, and so now they're having to be sent out again. I said, well, even if I get my letter, am I going to be able to enter it in because the code would have expired? And so she wasn't sure on that. And I said, well, what happens if I go ahead and just try to do it again? But I thought maybe I might be screwing something up since I'd already set up a profile. And I was kind of reluctant, so I'm going to wait another couple of days and see if the mail finally shows up, like 6 weeks late. So the upshot is I still have not been able to get transcripts. And the irony is I did this early so I wouldn't have this kind of problem. And of course, I'm having this kind of problem. So, and now if the government shuts down, who knows what's going to happen with the...
It just gets
Better and better.
better and better. And when do you get to start filing tax returns? The 28th?
29.
Well, that's when it
Monday
officially
the
opens.
29th.
So when it officially opens, assuming they don't shut things down or...
Well, there's that too.
Why don't they just wait to the 1st? Because if 1090 if W-2s aren't due till the 31st, why don't they just wait to the 1st?
They just may anyway. If the government shuts down,
Yeah.
what are we going to do?
So I spent about 3 hours and have really nothing to show for it, other than...
That you could have spent elsewhere doing other things like actually helping your clients?
What I actually did was I went in to Experian and pulled a credit report, and I'm hoping that maybe if I use the numbers on my credit report next time I go through, because I got locked out the last time. So it's been interesting, and apparently I'm not the only one having the problem. So
Did you find that it asked you questions that, like, I had one a couple months ago where it says, wanted to know where my ex-husband was living.
That seems to be the only way that they can verify.
What the hell? It's been 25 years.
I got my. What is the birthday of my ex-husband's new wife?
Yeah. How? Because see, you're all linked together with these credit reports.
I don't care.
That's right. That's right.
yeah.
I don't send her a birthday card.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
Crazy.
it's...
Now Hector said that he's still working on 2016 returns because of the Irma, the hurricanes.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet he is. Wow.
Yeah, fortunately it was a national disaster, what do they call it, a national disaster, because now on the casualty loss, you don't get it next year if your property damage is not in a federally designated disaster area.
So, wow, what do you do then in that case? File 2017 and 18 at the same time?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Oh. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Let's change the subject again.
I have a short, quick one.
Okay, go ahead, Linda.
I talked to accountants in Boston or New Hampshire or Maine or wherever they are yesterday about renewing my membership, and I talked about the conference. The conference in August is just going to be an expo. There are going to be no classes.
What? Back up. What?
And there's no meals.
No
We're talking about
classes
a Caltech?
and no meals at a Caltech, just an expo.
That's it, a 3-day expo.
Well, that explains one, why it's free, and two, I went on to get my bio because they had redone my bio really well, and I'm no longer listed as a speaker, but Joanne is. There was like 3 or 4 for 2018 speakers, but then everybody else has been dropped, and I hadn't heard anything. So, where did you hear we're not going to have any CPE at all?
Well, I don't know. If they do, I think it's going to be part of the expo. You remember how some of the classes this year,
We're in those little areas.
mini classrooms near a booth? Yeah, it's going to be like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I guess, oh man. Well, I am going to scaling, and that'll be in Atlanta.
Yes, I'm going to that.
That's all I need is,
Yep.
Wow.
And if depending, I'll go to QuickBooks Connect as well. But
well, it's out your way.
I think
It's expensive, even if I stay on the East Coast. I mean, taking time off and all that stuff. So, well, I'm glad. Yeah. Well, it explains why we haven't had a board meeting. So I'm on the board, on the leadership board, the advisory board, or whatever we're called. And I haven't heard any. We haven't had any meetings or anything. That's very interesting.
Well, it ought to be really interesting when you have a meeting.
Yeah, because they were originally talking about classes and expo on the same floor. Now they've just nixed the classes off.
Where did you read that?
No, I didn't read it anywhere. I was talking to a sales consultant. I'll get you her name if I haven't deleted it.
Put it in
Well, I was going to ask
chat.
Stacy, and she's been sick, and I didn't want to bother her.
Well, lady, what happened is I called in because I was trying to figure out whether I should pay the invoice they sent me in November or not. And I was trying to
What was
figure
that
out
for? Membership?
membership. And it was like $261.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't paid mine now.
And so I went on and I was looking at what do I get for being a member. And basically you get the blog posts. They get emailed to you like Charlie Russell and the new lady.
But he's retiring. They're all going away.
And then the other thing is you get the book, the restaurant accounting book. You get the QuickBooks Consultant's Guide book.
They're not updating it. You can download it now and just be done with it.
Right. Except that they blocked me. I'll
give you a copy.
I didn't pay.
They're old. They're old.
I understand that. So anyway, I've decided to drop. So I'm coming to the East Coast to Scaling New Heights because I like going into Atlanta. I like the fact that we're not going to be at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
And
let's just go do accounting. Yeah.
Fly into the airport and just go to the hotel, and that'll be good. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was like a tidbit that the lady mentioned that, oh, it's just going to be an expo this year.
I'll be done.
Oh, because I asked about the fact that it was free and signing up, and I said, I guess I could sign up to go to the conference whether I'm a member or not. And she said, oh, yes, you can. We want as many people there as possible. It's just going to be an expo this year. Now, she could have been wrong, but that's what she said.
All right, August 22nd and 23rd. That's 2 days.
Okay.
All right. Exhibit. Attend speakers. Well, they might be like so 2018 session speakers: Jeannie Whitehouse, Joanne, Casey Johnson, Leslie Schreiner. Here's some new ones. Jess.
Oh, yeah.
SBAA. Wasn't he on the Facebook thing this morning? Alan Buckman, David. So anyway, there's Randy Johnson and Stephen King. I mean, and then I was like, nobody called me.
So I wonder what they are doing. You'll have to investigate, Sarah.
Now I need to call Joanne or Jeannie and go.
It does say CPE credit.
Yeah, see what they're doing. They're making you crazy. And I would
Well, if
think
we're
that,
on the
you
advisory
know,
committee, I should be able to answer these things, and I'm
absolutely. That's what I was about to say. If you're on the board, you should be the first to know before the salespeople, because where their priorities are.
Well, my guess is she was just sharing with somebody who was not very important, something that wasn't very important.
yeah. Well,
It is kind of important, though.
Well,
It is.
but again, it may have been wrong information.
all right.
So-
This one, okay. This one is saying the CPE. There are up to 23 CPE credits available. But see, I can't tell if that's last year or this year.
Yeah, you'll have to talk to somebody. You need a real live person at this point.
Right.
But it could
right.
be just like they did before, where they had like the glass rooms, and then they checked you in as you went in, but you're sort of in the trade show, but off.
Yes. The only way to get to the classroom was to walk through the expo. And that makes a lot of sense. It's
So no food, no. It's just
Free,
it's a
but you
trade
get
show.
food.
It's a vendor trade show.
that's what it sounded like.
Food off in the corner that's lousy. Lousy dogs or hamburgers.
Live demonstration, outstanding speakers. We've lined up speakers including Joanne DeBassa, Randy Johnson, Stephen King, Leslie Schreiner, and Jeannie Whitehouse. Okay, that's on here for 2018. But see, it's not talking about classes or sessions. They're just pretty much
I
speakers.
don't see anything about food. See, and
Opportunity for 23 CPE credits. Time to connect. There's going to be a happy hour and a welcome party. Live
Yeah.
demonstrations. 15,000 square foot expo hall. Networking. Huh.
Okay.
Well, you know, the big difference I noticed between the Sleater and the new group was, and it makes sense. Doug would insist on C-level executives from the vendors. That's where we met Matt Rizal and the owners they weren't just sending their sales staff to the convention. They were going themselves. It made a huge difference to me.
Did.
Anyway. So, but you know, Diversified doesn't have that relationship, you know,
That's
and
right.
off that very first one in Boston, you know, because I remember we were texting the hub doc, the Jeremy's,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and where are you? And one actually hopped on a plane and said, I'm coming. Because so many people were like, where are you? And then he said, wait a minute. It's the whole feel, you know. So So if you need to grow your accounting firm and all, these conventions are invaluable. I mean, it's still going to be a great convention. It's just it won't be the
Right.
You won't
The same as QB Connect or the same as Scaling New Heights.
Yeah, and QB Connect to me is a lot of rah, you know, pom-poms and everything. But scaling's becoming the one with with hardcore training and training tracks to take. So
yeah.
We'll see. Brandon, I have to ask you, where are you?
I am in my office in Mobile, Alabama.
Aha.
What is behind you? What happened to the wall behind you?
Oh, that's artistic.
Yeah, I guess it is an old downtown building that was refurbished.
Uh-huh.
So I work in co-working space, so all the offices look like this.
Okay.
Do they all have a white shirt hanging on the wall?
No, I like the shirt because you're showing the logo, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's the only place I had to hang up my shirt. There was a screw hanging in. There was a screw in
That's the 2018 version of the lower third.
That's hysterical. So
That's great.
show us your backpack too. It has a logo on it, doesn't it? I thought I saw some QuickBooks things there.
This is the one I got 2 years ago at
Books Connect.
Connect, and I still use it.
Nice.
It's actually a very well made backpack.
Yes, these are great. The ones they did this last year at QB Connect were cheap.
It was like a silk. I have one in the other room. It's you can squeeze it into nothing, but it's just like a silk bag.
Yeah,
It's just everybody brought back their backpacks.
I would if everything that I carry in this backpack, if I was to put it in the bag that I got this last year, the bag would just fall apart and start laughing at me.
They probably would.
Yeah.
Did you get any snow on the island?
Not that we got frigid temperatures on the island this last go around. Now, about a month ago, it snowed on the island. That was the first snow that the island has seen since the mid 1960s.
Wow.
Was that the third? Was that right before ours hit the third? Was it right at year end?
Yeah,
That same
roundabout.
storm. Yeah.
It was funny because the islanders, the people that's lived there all of their life, that they were waking their whole families up at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, saying, "You got to come outside."
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Now there are and I don't know if they did this in your area where the TV stations asked for everybody to send in pictures of their snowmen, snow women, snow children,
I
snow
saw
dogs, and ours were like, oh, people are so creative, snow women in bikinis and flip flops and holding their Mai Tai, and I mean these are Southern.
Partying. The Southerns like to party.
Now, about 3 days ago, we got ice, and these people in Mobile and Lower Alabama cannot drive anywhere on a good day.
Yeah.
They just freaked out.
Ice, no matter what.
They should have just stayed home.
The
Yeah.
causeway coming across the bay was closed for over 5 hours.
Wow.
It was ridiculous.
And we had school that day, ice or none.
Well, 2 days after that, it was still cold, but the ice was gone. They were canceling church. They were canceling everything for cold. It wasn't because of rain or sleet or snow.
We're freezing.
It was cold. Stay home.
Well, probably some of the buildings really don't have the facilities to put enough heat out in those kind of conditions, right?
We have heat pumps.
Get
They don't heat.
electric heat or something,
Right. Exactly.
It just feels like it's blowing cold air around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's miserable.
Well, it stays warm in my office, but below the office, below my floor, is a kind of an open air parking deck where you can park under the building. My feet are about to freeze off my ankles right now. And they're just going to fall. They're going to shatter. I'm going to hit them too hard. And I'm going to walk around on nubs.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen.
You need one of those infrared heaters underneath the desk.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do something. Right now, I've got 1 foot propped up on my desk. You can't see it here.
Just to warm it up.
Is on top. The other one is on top of the chair wheels.
Just anything off that and anywhere near that concrete. It's just stuck in that cold air, right, or cold right into the,
Gets right into your bones.
Well, Gina, I was raised up north and learned to drive up north, but nobody can drive on ice. I don't care where they're from.
Right.
So we had that sleety rain, and then the snow came on top of it. So underneath that cute little snow was 2 inches of ice. And so that's what was throwing everybody. And even when I was in Nashville, it was like I went to turn right into the hotel and went straight.
Oh,
Because the coefficient of friction is 0.
absolutely on ice.
But I automatically, just out of instinct, turned into the skid and everything, and I could skid straight. I was real impressed with myself. And the poor woman that was with me went, oh, you're really good at that. And I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, I think I really need to be slower when we come up to it. And when we got to the funeral home too, it's like I was hardly moving. It's just you turn your wheel and so,
Brandon, what did you share with us?
That you may have seen it, but it was as soon as that hit, this video popped up. As soon as all the ice and everything. Anyway, this jogger, the reporter stops her, and they're talking about this sheet of snow that's on the ground. She said, "Oh, it's perfect temperature for running." It just anyway. She takes about 6 or 7 more steps, starts jogging down the road, and just slips and just
Wipes out.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, around here, they called for virtually no snow, possibly a covering. 6 inches later, and it's been like that for every storm for us this year. Oh, we're not going to get anything, only an inch maybe. And that was why they didn't call off schools. So I'm watching the kids. I'll put that picture up. There is a school bus and kids getting on the school bus. You know, when I do the 2018 winter pictures, you'll see kids getting on a school bus in a snowstorm.
yeah. Oh, we used to go to my grandmother's house in blizzards. Yeah.
That's different.
Yep.
That's different. On a school bus and with children.
Yeah,
You know,
that's,
that's a
yeah, no seatbelt.
vehicle. And
Yeah,
Seatbelts on the school bus.
yeah.
our school buses used to be driven by the high school seniors.
Oh,
I remember
no.
A little snowstorm hit Charlotte. We never had snow. We were trying to get home, and that poor kid. Oh my gosh, because we were on a hill and we were like trying to get up. If we could just get up, and the bus kept sliding back.
See, no teenager should have to deal with
I
that.
don't think they do that anymore.
I surely hope not.
That was some cheap labor.
I'll bet it was.
Mm-hmm.
Back to QuickBooks and payroll.
Yes, and payroll, right?
Payroll tables.
See
have
these
just
circles
come out.
under my eyes? All right. Which error message before which? Okay. I've got a client. I use LogMeIn to dial into their system. And I haven't been able to do a payroll update in a couple months. So I wasn't too worried because, you know, there's really hadn't been any changes for Georgia. But the tax tables came out, so I really need to get this thing loaded. And one of the error messages is 15101. Payroll update did not complete successfully. It tries. Please try again. You must successfully download the update before the deadline, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so the error message is the 15101. So that is like the virus protection. Maybe it's blocking the QuickBooks site.
Firewall or something.
Firewall. Your internet's not working. Internet's working. Nothing's changed. It said to check your digital signature. I redid that. Anyway, it would start. Then it would start, and they have really good internet over there, so that wouldn't make any sense. So I'm watching this thing. It's like 2%, 4%, 6%. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're killing me. And then I'd watch it, and we'd get all the way to 100, start all over again.
Oh, there was a line it was missing.
I don't know what it was doing. And then finally, the error is 12002. QuickBooks could not connect to the server because of a network timeout. So it almost makes you feel like it's an Intuit thing. But anyway, I don't know what to do with this thing. What I'm going to try tomorrow is dial into somebody else's workstation, log in as me, and try to get the payroll table loaded on that workstation and see if there's something. We've rebooted.
Brandon, can you help her?
Really important email to.
Brandon, you talking?
If I'd unmute my freaking mic.
I mean, it looked interesting.
What was the first error code that you had? I
All
think
right,
I
the
run into
first
it.
one was the 15101.
Hang on just a second. I think I've got the answer for you.
because that's the one about. I guess it's not getting through to the servers.
Right.
But then after 4 hours of, finally getting to 100%, and they would start all over again. It's hooking to somebody's server, but now it's a 12002.
12002.
Yeah, which says you can't hook to the site, to the enter site. So, well, I'm stuck on 21708, and we're supposed to be on 21708. We're supposed to be on 21804. I'm a little
And I assume
behind.
you've already checked with tech support, and they keep giving you the runaround.
No, I haven't
No.
done that.
Okay.
Well, Brandon is looking. Dennis, what did you put on in the chat? You put a
Probably another funny video.
Yeah, go ahead. Take a.
Yeah, let me mute my mute.
It's rather amusing. I found.
I'm going to mute you again, Dennis.
I gotta watch the commercial.
Okay.
I could bring it up for everyone.
Oh, no.
All watch it. I don't know what it is though.
Yeah. That's the poor guy with the briefcase and his jacket, and he goes down the driveway, just
Oh, that was
crashes at the end.
hysterical. He was
Yeah.
doing good. He was looking like he
was
was
sliding.
skiing a little bit, but then he like crashed and rolled. It was the crash and roll, and he had to stop himself by his mailbox before he went out on the road, and people ran him over.
Well, that's the thing. It just looks like wet pavement. I mean,
He had good balance.
he did have good back. He was skating there for a while. That's funny. Now the one with the jogger, she nailed her head.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
You can get
She
some
Yeah, it looked like it hurt,
Yeah.
but it was just her reaction in the interview before she busted herself.
Shouldn't get cocky when it talks about the snow.
I assume you've already Googled it
Yeah.
because I've seen the update. They're saying to reboot in safe mode and do it again. But there's another error that I've seen. It wasn't the same one, but we actually had to go remove a file and
I know. And I was looking through my notes because I'm like, maybe it's in Evernote because I've done this before. And
Yeah,
Sport walked me through all this, and doggone it, if I can't, I'm sure as heck not going to be able to remember.
Yeah, I've got one bookkeeper. She's a payroll manager for a CPA firm up in Northwest Arkansas. I've done it on three different occasions for her in different QuickBooks accounts. It's weird, but
Yeah.
she's the only one it's happened to, but I've had to do it multiple times.
And then it's her machine. It's her install of QuickBooks that's causing the trouble or something.
Well, that one file, that's that funny file that you have to get rid of it and then it'll rebuild itself, right?
Yeah. There's something
it?
you're supposed to.
It is
Huh.
old or something.
The TLG file?
That's
Yeah.
it, I think. I think that's it.
TLG? No.
I think it starts with a T, yeah.
There's a TLG and an ND file, but typically that's not going to fix her issue. But I've done that before to fix an issue before.
Yeah.
Several issues actually, but
Anyway, I just thought I'd ask you guys in case any of y'all had a memory and could remember what the
I had one
was.
once, but I lost it. I couldn't remember where I put it.
Yeah.
Didn't they run into that a little bit remember when Microsoft was updating, they were updating a version of Windows 10, and right around the same time, QuickBooks did an update as well.
Oh, I remember that. Yes. I think I'm still stuck there, though. I was supposed to uninstall and reinstall my QuickBooks. This is Desktop 2018 you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I never did
That's
that.
exactly what I had to do. I had to remove the program and reinstall it.
I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
And the new update's out.
I'd try repair first.
If it's here in the office, that's easy, but doing it remotely is like, I need somebody to feed me a CD. Well, I can download it, but then
And that takes twice as long.
and this is
But
out of
the thing-
scope.
The good thing is when you download it, though, all the updates are built into the download. You don't have to
That's
go
what they say. Yeah. Now, I thought about taking out my payroll license and then just starting all over, but or taking out the payroll key code. I don't know.
Now, you don't have to call Pro Advisor support. You've got an IRP number that you can call, right?
Oh, I never thought about doing that for my own
That's
support.
why I said Brandon helped Sarah.
Yeah.
That,
Let me find my piece of paper. I got the direct number and extension.
really? Huh.
Brandon
Wow.
to the rescue, Sarah.
Hey, I never heard back from about the QBO, Brandon.
What about it?
Somebody sent me the link to Costco. I'm like, we can't beat that.
We're still on a recording here, so I don't know. Brandon might want to put it in the chat.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Talk to me later, Brandon.
Larry.
What?
You and Sarah get together after we're done recording.
I'll send you an email.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll read it.
So, Sarah
Yes.
will be on desktop time, QBox desktop time next
I
month,
know.
January. Yay.
I'll have to find out how that works.
We'll be there for you,
Because
Sarah.
Chris will be there. And I guess we're
Well,
part of the
he
panel
does
or something.
he actually does 2 demos per desktop time.
Right. Well, I was worried because he wasn't talking about TBX, and so I was like, "Can I share my program?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, okay.
Two.
Second.
Yes.
It's TBX and QVinci, which is Dennis's buddy.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So it should be real interesting. So, and I'll have. I'm trying to get version 6 released by Monday. These W-2s and 1099s keep capitalizing my time.
Right.
Is that a recommended thing? When you update QuickBooks to a new version,
Mm-hmm.
to download it either to a CD or a flash drive or something like that, so that when you may have to redo it, things go a lot faster? Is that a good thing to do?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, space is cheap these days, it seems. So
Right. But I don't know
I
how
save
you
them.
do that.
I always download them to my H drive and keep them all.
I mean,
But-
because it's automatic. When you do the updates, you just go through QuickBooks. It'll either ask you, or if you do it manually, you go to help and update. How do you tell it where to send the update?
Okay.
What?
That's
Sorry
good
about the
tip.
yawns.
So the other thing I wanted to say to Sarah, Smartsheet just acquired Converse AI.
Oh yeah.
You know what that gives me hope that we're going to have some sort of a chat
Wow.
type feature.
Is that what you think that's going to be?
That's what they do.
AI, though, isn't that like automatic entry? I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure what it's going to do.
Smartsheet. Let's see. I forget their name. I saw it on
Converse AI.
Yeah. So let's look at them.
So Gina, you saw the Snap demo today? Because I missed it.
Snap
this morning.
scan. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good.
I
Fun.
hope they record it.
They are. And I do want to say for Sarah, you know how like you always said you want the names to come up when we're doing recordings and we post it on YouTube? If you do a Zoom and you do that Facebook Live, the names come up. The names come up on the speakers the same way that they're coming up for us when we're in the Zoom.
Mm-hmm. But not on the recording.
on the recording, I was looking at the Facebook Live recording later and saw our name.
Oh, not the YouTube, but the
Not
Facebook
the YouTube,
Live.
the Facebook Live. Yes, our names.
But
come
you
up
still have
there.
to say something. You still have to like.
Right, you have to say something for your profile to come up, because it only shows whoever is speaking. It'll use whatever speaker view.
All right.
Interesting.
Okay.
I don't know. Real interesting. I mean, I love my smart sheet, but it's still, if I could get, it's still not project management software the way I want, where I can step back as a manager and see what everybody's doing. It's not easy to do.
Right, right. The best I have found still is Trello for the visual.
Yeah.
And you just do a board for each
I
worker.
love making my checklist and customizing columns and going, oh, I need to know that I downloaded it. Oop, there's a little check column, you know.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried the new QBO work that they.
I haven't heard anything good. Have you?
I watched Woody's video on it. It just is too simple.
Yeah.
It's too simple. You have projects and then you have tasks.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm using Trello and I have checklists. Like you said, to me, the tasks would be the checklist, and the project would be the weekly bookkeeping. I would do projects like weekly bookkeeping, monthly reconciliations, monthly reports, that kind of thing. And then under it, the task would be which accounts you use, you know, the bank account, the operations account, whatever other account, credit card account, kind of like that. So you can check it off that way. You can do the projects as a reoccurring, but they don't pull forward the tasks. And you cannot make a template in the tasks.
Yeah.
So for me,
first release,
you know, I would be spending more time in that project management program than I would be doing the work.
Right.
Right.
So it's not.
No.
I just emailed you, Sarah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So let's see. TV. What else were we going to talk about?
I think we are about done for the day. We've hit everything on our list. Oh, Mark Wickersham is starting to do monthly value pricing webinars. I don't know if anybody saw that. Yeah. Starting in January. I think his first one's like the 29th. I don't have any more information than that in front of me, but I did get an email that he is starting to do monthly webinars now, free on value pricing.
Nice.
I do have a question for you guys. It doesn't have to be up for discussion, but if you know of anybody that's looking for, they doesn't have to necessarily be a pro advisor or an accountant. I've got a customer that's looking for more like a virtual assistant, but they do need to be QuickBooks proficient. She's located in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, she's just looking for somebody, and I told her I don't want to do it. So that's, it's not difficult stuff. Most of it is creating invoices, memorizing invoices, creating memorized payments. That's really it. There's not that much to it.
So
I wonder if Peggy.
QuickBooks,
What's that?
more QuickBooks work than virtual assistant kind of stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not nuts and bolts of accounting. You don't have to know it. It is QuickBooks work. It's on QuickBooks Desktop 18 Pro.
Is it so somebody has to go there to do it?
Well, I would. What I told her is that it would probably be remote. That would be the ideal fix. I mean, nobody, even if they're in town, they're not going to want to drive across town and work for a little while and then drive back. I mean, nobody does that anymore.
QBox, right? I would say you could do that in QBox would be the easiest way. But
I would suggest calling Peggy West or notifying Peggy West about the opportunity. Because she's just starting out. She's not near Fort Lauderdale, but she's in Florida, and she's new. And
Good point. Good
That's a
point.
good idea. And she's
Give
in
her
our
a few
she's in
words,
the
yeah.
ASG group as well. So I will.
Yeah,
I think I put that in our group, so I'll just tag her.
Tag her and say everyone's recommending her.
Absolutely.
I think she wants to do construction. I think that's her niche.
be her niche, but
You gotta start somewhere.
Gotta start somewhere, yeah.
it's nice to have a paying customer.
Absolutely.
So,
And a non-complex, that's not so complex construction can be a pain.
yeah, because she keeps talking about, I'm going to do job costing with QBO for you. And I'm thinking like, oh, good luck with that. I know they're adding that, but.
So I'm gonna tag her. Oh, in your Costco question,
Yeah.
I sent that. I emailed Nicole, who's our payroll rep, but I found out late yesterday she's at home with the flu.
Oh, okay.
So if you need an answer quicker, I'll ping somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why she
Got
hasn't
it.
answered yet.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have Costco around here.
I never had one in Arkansas. It was always Sam's Club, but that's where they started.
Sam's, yeah.
But we've got Costco and Sam's here in Mobile.
Oh, okay.
Big time. Yeah, ask you something before we go. Are you guys fighting the LLCs on W-9s like we do every year? Where I'm an individual and use my LLC name and I go,
Oh my gosh.
didn't name you that? Your
No.
mama did not name you that?
No LLC W-9 that I have gotten has been filled out correctly.
None.
None.
And
Not
I
one.
started using Track 1099 to do the requests, but it lets them fill it out incorrectly. And then you can re-request, but you can't put a message like, hi.
I don't have time to fight like that. I have a piece of paper with their signature, and if I have to fill it in correctly, that's what I
If
do.
they gave you their name.
Well, I want to, that part, they have to give me at least their name.
How? I mean, if they submit, if they just have line
They don't
one
get a
being
check
the
until
LLC and no
That's
individual
filled
name,
out. That's how.
it's gonna kick back with a penalty.
Oh, I know, but it doesn't, for me, it doesn't get to that point because they don't get their first check. Even if they're
Oh yeah.
$100, they do not get that until I have
Right.
enough information I can fill it out.
But I've got clients that they show up quarterly or once a year. Not that many. Oh, I found two that I guess QBox did that update back in October, and it's been locked since October. And QBox, and I'm like, I called him up. I said, "Have you been locking your file overnight?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Your QBox hasn't worked since October."
Yeah.
So, and all they had to do was I did a Zoom. We just updated QBox or got it going again, and it
It's synced really well for you. Okay.
I'm just gonna have to give them more love when I don't see them every quarter or once a year. I'm not
Keeping up on that, right?
not keeping up on it. So even though I've trained them pretty well on how to do W-9s, there's always that, like, was it, I had a client and she had like a client appreciation day where she had all the food trucks out in the parking lot for all the people
Nice.
coming to get materials and stuff. And then the food truck people just billed them at the end of the day. It was like free lunch for everybody. And
Nice.
it didn't even occur to her. It was out of
That you
their routine, And
Right.
so there were 4 of them. 2 came in correct, 2 are wrong.
Yeah.
Your mother didn't name you a taco truck.
Who was it? Somebody on one of the other group boards on Facebook. They were using Google Forms, and they put it with Smartsheet
Yeah, but
To
you don't get
gather
your
the-
signature.
to gather the information for the 1099, the W-9s.
It's not legal. Not unless they also sign one and upload it.
Yeah, they also sent them a
Yeah.
form. or a link to the form. One or the
Yeah.
other.
So that's a good way to get them to type it so you can read it, I guess. But
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that too.
mhm. So anyway, I couldn't get my act together fast enough this year, but I'm going to write a darn program. I'm so done with this. I want something similar to Track 1099's W-9 program.
You don't want to let them fill it out wrong.
Yeah, I want it more of a questionnaire, and based on the questions, it fills out the form.
Right.
But the one thing that really works is what Gina said. You tell when they're
don't pay them.
oohing and on and say, you know what, we can't
Don't pay
pay
'em.
you. Can't pay you.
Mm-mm.
Well, you got to pay us. Well, you got to fill out the form.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly
You
right.
know,
And
if you
what
control the checkbook.
they
what happens
will
if we don't?
contact you, even if it's by phone.
Yeah, some of those Indian
Or-
folks, what happens if you don't pay us, then we sue you? Hey,
Take out the 28%. No, you can pay them.
oh sure, I'll treat you
Take
like
out the 28%.
I'll treat you like an employee, and I'll take out everything. How would you like that?
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
way
I usually-
that's the way that conversation goes. You know.
Yeah, I take out the 28%, hold on to it, let them raise Cain a little bit, get the form, give them their 28% back.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, technically I have to send it to the IRS, but
That's
chances
fine
are
for all
they
that.
want their
I don't
money.
get a check until you give me the information.
Takes all the emotion out of it. This is just the law. I'm required by law to take out 28% if you don't hand me a form.
Virus puts us in this position, but that's how it is.
Yeah, well, that's because the IRS is using us as the enforcers.
Right. Right.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
On that note, I think we're going to end today. So see you all same time next week.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.